Guys, we are at the ancient town of Waunakee, Wisconsin, and we're at the smaller park pond. There's a bigger one in the village center, but there's no one here right now, which is good. I think there's plenty of bass in this pond. Someone told me that someone put a catfish in this pond too, and even though you're not supposed to do that, if I catch it, that'll be good. In terms of bait, we got fathead minnows, and we got a dozen of them. So yeah, that's what we're gonna use as bait. Fathead minnows under a bobber. All right, we're gonna toss this magnum fathead under a bobber just off the side here. And then we're gonna go set up our other poles. This guy is gonna swim under the bobber, and that's perfect for a bass to pick him up. You know, I imagine this would be a lot easier. I don't really know why the small bass aren't coming out to eat these minnows, because I know there's a lot of small bass in here. I've seen it before. That one's acting a little weird. I think it's got something under it. Let's see. Oh, that's definitely a fish. And that is not my minnow, and that is a tiny largemouth bass. If these are the type of bass, then it's no wonder I'm not getting too many hits. It's largemouth bass, tiny. Found it. Largemouth bass, but very, very small. All right, little bassy, see ya. Since the size of bass is very small, I think we're gonna go with, yes, you guessed it, a smaller hook and a minnow. There's probably some big ones in there. I have actually caught really big bass with small minnows before, so I'm not really worried about big bass not eating this, but I've lost a lot of bait to smaller bass, it seems like. All right, my pole is shaking again. I think I've got something now. That's not a minnow, so I don't think it is. There's a bass. Slightly bigger than the last one, but still not much there. It's still got the minnow in its mouth. Slightly bigger largemouth bass. Pond's full of them, but they're small. Second bass, I'll see ya. With all the tiny ones in here, I'm not really sure if I can get a big one or not. I don't think I need to go out very far to catch a bass. I mean, some of the big ones should be by the side. There's no reason they wouldn't be. I think I got something, and this one ain't small. Yeah, it's staying underwater. Oh, this one's not big, but it's bigger than the others. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a nice bass. I mean, not a nice bass, but a decent one. Oh, lively largemouth. Finally got like a 1 pounder. Nice bass there, largemouth bass. Largemouth, about a 1 pounder. Not too bad, biggest one so far, but still not what I'm looking for. All right, bass, see ya. Pond bass back. I think I saw a water swirl like right around here. I think the bass are just kind of lazy sometimes, and they don't really want to, like, you know, go around for the food. So they just kind of like wait by the weed edge. Is that a bass? No, it's probably just it. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there and see if anything comes along. Walking around the pond, I threw my bait right there, and I think I got one. Another largemouth. Yes, tiny largemouth bass. A lot of them in these like little side pockets. So I think I'm gonna walk around this pond with a minnow and see if I can get bass. Small little sucker. See ya, bass. All right, we're gonna just toss this one out like in various places, reel him back a bit. Doesn't matter if the minnow's dead or alive right now, because if you're just kind of like making it move, then it's gonna have some movement. Bobber just went down again. I was just swishing it on the pond side. Well, that's a big bass out there, but this is a small one. Another largemouth. There's a big one right there. I'll try to see if I can get it, but another small largemouth bass. All right, bass, see ya. I think I got a big one on, oh, is that the catfish? I've heard of the legendary catfish that inhibits these waters. I don't think so, I don't think it's big enough. Nope, there's a good bass. I mean, it's not like super good, but it's much bigger than the ones I've been catching. There you go, another 1 pounder, largemouth bass. Got it, got him. All right, buddy, I'll see ya. And it swims right off. We're gonna toss this one way out there in the moss, because it does actually seem like there's way more bass in the moss over there than just, you know, regular. So I guess the more reedy it is, the more bassy it is, which is awesome, because I need some bass right now. Got about 6 or 7 so far, but I know there's more out there. Definitely got something on this line. That bobber pretty much disappeared for good, and I felt a couple of shakes on the line. That's fish. This is the third decent bass. It's not like a tiny one, but I don't think it's that big. It's swimming pretty fast. the smallest of the half-decent bass, but still in the 1 pound category, or slightly more, but like the 8th largemouth bass, man. This pond is pretty good. Another pretty bass. Probably the smallest of the non-micro bass. I'll see you later, bass. May not be too many monsters here, but yeah, there's some really good bass in here, like in the 1 pound category. Not like super monsters, but decent bass. I like that. I like that. No sooner did I throw it out than I caught another bass, but this one's tiny. Oh yeah, largemouth bass with the minnows stuck in its mouth. Look at that size of that bass. I do actually think this pond is probably like overpopulated, so the ones can't grow very big. This time I'm going to put a really juicy big minnow on the hook and see if we can attract a juicy big bass. Not that I'm going to eat the bass or anything, but I want a big one, like a 3 pounder at least. I don't know if they exist in this pond though. All right, the fish took one of my minnows and the bobber is under good for good. This might be the last fishy of the day, but is it a great fish? Doesn't feel ooh, it jumped. It's not super big, but it does look like it is an okay bass. It's like the 4th non-micro, still in that ½ pound to 1.5 category. It's smaller than the other ones, but a non-micro largemouth. Not bad. All right, fish, see ya. It's getting dark. Bass are gonna stop biting after a while. Got like, you know, about a dozen bass. Used all my minnows, and yeah, a lot of good bass in here, honestly. During the day, you might have to go around the sides and stick it in the little pockets, but you know, at dusk they really come out. Just toss like in kind of the patchy duckweed and in some of the open places, and you'll get them. I don't know if there's a monster in here. I haven't caught the monster in this pond, but at least like, you know, some 1.5 pound bass. Pretty good fun. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell notifications button, and I will see you guys next time.